Hello there, you're tuned into 7Edition. I'm Ras Adibaradzi. These are the headlines. Man claims trial to murder over fatal Bangi road rage incident. 2 schools in Miri forced to close as air quality hits hazardous level. And Para-Exco member to be charged tomorrow. Hello, it's good to see you again. An IT employee was charged in the Kajang Magistrates Court today with the murder of Syed Muhammad Daniel Syed Shakir in the fatal road rage incident in Bangi recently. 41-year-old Yu Wei Liang only nodded to indicate he understood the charge when it was read out to him before Magistrate Nur Afida Idris. No plea was recorded as murder cases are heard in the High Court. Yu is accused of having caused the death of 29-year-old Syed Muhammad Daniel on the North-South Expressway on August 10th. He was charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, which provides for the mandatory death sentence upon conviction. No bail was offered to the accused, as the offence is non-bailable, while the accused was sent to the Sungai Buloh prison. The court then fixed September 27th for mention and to hear the complaint by the defence. Meanwhile, a man claimed trial at the Kuala Terengganu Sessions Court today to a charge of causing injuries to the Besut police chief last week. 33-year-old Muhammad Nasir was accused of slashing Superintendent Muhammad Zamri Muhammad Rawi with a parang in the incident on August 15th. The incident in Kampung Padang Luas also caused the victim to lose his right thumb and sustain injuries in the back of his head. This followed an argument between the two, who are neighbours, after the victim complained about a coconut tree planted on his land by the accused. The self-employed man faces a maximum imprisonment of 20 years and fine or whipping if found guilty. The court fixed September 11 for re-mention of the case. Para-Exco Paul Yong Chu Kiong is expected to be charged at the Ipoh Sessions Court tomorrow in connection with an alleged rape case involving his Indonesian mate. Federal Criminal Investigation Department Director Datuk Huzir Muhammad in a statement said Yong will be charged under Section 376 of the Penal Code. The Trono DAP Assemblyman is the State Housing, Local Government, Public Transportation, Non-Muslim Affairs and New Villages Committee Chairman. In July, an Indonesian woman lodged a police report alleging that Yong, who was her employer, raped her at his Meru home. A day after the report was made, police arrested Yong, after which he was released on police bail the following day. Chinese educationist group Dong Zong president was summoned by the Bukit Aman Police Headquarters this morning to have his statements recorded. Tan Tai Kim, who arrived at 9:30 a.m., was being investigated under the Penal Code for intentional insult to provoke a breach of the peace. Tan was accompanied by his Secretary General Ng Chai Heng, who was also called in for questioning. This comes after 2 other individuals who were also quizzed by the police for the same offence earlier this week. The 2 individuals are businessman Kun Yu Yin and controversial Muslim preacher Dr. Zakir Naik. Dong Zong faced much criticism over its opposition to the introduction of card calligraphy to vernacular primary schools from next year. This despite the topic having been part of the national curriculum since the past 2 years. Two primary schools were forced to close today due to worsening haze in the Kuala Baram area in Miri, Sarawak. This after the air quality in the area, which is battling forest and peat soil fires, worsened to the hazardous level this morning. The Air Pollutant Index API reading at the monitoring station close to the areas on fire rose to 412 as at 3 p.m. The school closure affected a total of 1,906 pupils, including 50 preschoolers from SK Kuala Baram Dua and SJK Chung Hua Tudan. Authorities said 2 fire hotspots have been detected so far in Sarawak, 22 in Indonesia's Kalimantan and 13 in Sumatra. Firefighters are water bombing the raging forests and peat soil fires using helicopters and a Bombardier aircraft from the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency. The Finance Ministry expects a 20% increase in first-time home buyers loan approval after Bank Negara Malaysia expanded eligibility criteria for its Affordable Housing Fund. Lim Guan Eng said this was based on the extended repayment duration to 40 years from 30 years, which will help first-time homeowners reduce their monthly housing loan repayment.
Syarat-syarat ini telah pun dilonggarkan daripada RM2,300 sebulan. Pendapatan sebulan telah dinaikkan kepada RM4,360 sebulan. So mereka yang mempunyai pendapatan RM4,360 pun layak untuk menikmati pinjaman sedemikian, dan harga rumah telah dinaikkan kepada RM300,000 daripada RM150,000. Dan faedah konsesi adalah sebanyak 3.5% setahun untuk satu tempoh. Kalau sebelum ini 30 tahun, dia telah lanjutkan kepada 40 tahun.
Lim said this in a joint press conference with Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraidah Kamarudin in Putrajaya today. The enhancement, which takes effect on September 1st, is an additional initiative to help citizens in the bottom 40 income group to own their first home. Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali was honoured as Ibu Negara by the Asian Strategy and Leadership Institute ASLI last night. The recognition was received by the Prime Minister's wife at the National Women's Day celebration Gala Dinner 2019 held in Kuala Lumpur.
Hoping that my parents are here and that my late sister, Salihah, was here. And also my brother, the late governor of Bank Negara. They were the ones, all of them the ones, who really brought me up. And for them to see me standing here getting this prestigious award would be something great for them.
The award was presented by ASLI Chairman Tan Sri Dr. Jeffrey Chia, witnessed by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. This was in recognition of Tun Siti Hasmah's outstanding sacrifice in resolutely supporting Tun Dr. Mahathir in the Premier's nation-building journey. The event also saw the launch of Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali Scholarship for Creative Arts and Music by the Jeffrey Chia Foundation. A system malfunction disrupted a number of flights at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, this morning. Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad MAHB said at least 20 flights bound for international and domestic destinations were delayed due to the disruption. It was believed that a connection issue had affected several airport systems, including the flight information display system, check-in counters, the baggage handling systems, as well as Wi-Fi availability. MAHB, in a statement today, said the disruption began last night and was still in the midst of being rectified. The airport operator also said the affected flights were from 6 airlines, including Malaysia Airlines, All Nippon Airways and Malindo Airways. So far, the credit system at all KLIA main terminal outlets that was also affected earlier has been restored. The disruption is expected to continue throughout the day, and travellers are advised to approach airport staff for further information or assistance. MHB also advised travellers to be at their respective terminals at least 4 hours ahead of departure to avoid missing their flights. Now, a passenger who was earlier at the KLIA terminal, Muhammad Hazul Fadli Hassan, was among the many affected by the system disruption. According to Hazul Fadli, his flight to Bintulu was delayed 3 times and the airport staff had to communicate verbally with the passengers on updates on the flight schedule. Here's some details from the passenger.
My flight is to Bintulu. Originally, the flight is planned to ETA on 5:30, but now flight delayed to 5:50, and we are assigned from B2 door to B7 door, and until now the flight is not come yet. And during the check-in, we take about half an hour to check in due to the system is down, and we need to long queue. Even myself is enriched silver member. I need to wait for about 30 minutes for my check-in, and we still need to wait for the long queue until the system is, but the system is not yet normalized until now. So the people in the KLIA is a lot of them complaining the system is down for 2 days already, and yet the Malaysian airport did not recover the system as timely as what they should do.
Coming up, no Rohingya refugees show up for repatriation. Don't go away. I'm Rasadi Barazi and you're with us on 7Edition. 10 people, including a military firefighter, were killed and more than 20 were unaccounted for after 3 days of torrential rain in southwestern Sichuan province. Out of the 26 missing people, 6 were injured, 3 of them seriously. The heaviest downpours were reported to be in mountainous Aba Tibetan as well as Jiang Autonomous Prefecture as of Wednesday. Meanwhile, in Dai County, the Sichuan capital, 2 police officers in a car were swept away and killed on Tuesday as they went to answer an emergency call. Mudslides caused by heavy rain in Wenchuan County had also blocked roads and cut telephone communications. Earlier, Lakima, the 5th worst typhoon to have hit China in 70 years, killed 44 people in the east of the country and caused heavy flooding as it moved north. No Rohingya citizen turned up for repatriation to Myanmar on Thursday. 5 buses and 10 trucks were already laid out for the people by Bangladesh officials. Due to the no turnout, officials say they would wait for a few more hours before deciding whether to postpone the repatriation move. Let's find out more from our trainee reporter Nur Fatima Zara Ahmad.
According to a Bangladesh official, they have been waiting for Rohingya refugees for repatriation since 9 a.m. on Thursday, but no one showed up. Refugees are demanding a guarantee for safety and citizenship when returning to the Buddhist majority Myanmar. So far, only a handful have returned from the camps in southeast Bangladesh. Majority of the Rohingya community have lived in those refugee camps for over 2 years, and they have been gripped by fears since authorities announced the fresh repatriation process. They are also scared of being sent to camps for internally displaced people, IDP, if they went back to Myanmar. The voice of the minority group Bangladesh's Refugee Commissioner has insisted that security be tightened across the refugee settlements to prevent any more violence or protests. More than 20,000 refugees have been sent to Myanmar for verification. At least 300 individuals have been cleared for return in Naypyidaw. Some over 700,000 of the minority have fled a military offensive in 2017 in the Rakhine state in what the United Nations has likened to ethnic cleansing. Sunday will mark the 2nd anniversary of the crackdown. That is all I have for now. Back to you, Ras, in the studio.
It's time for our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. An unknown female driver is now wanted by the cops for going against traffic flow along Jalan Pandan Indah near Ampang on Tuesday. She was seen in a viral video driving her MPV at full speed, putting the lives of other motorists at risk. Footage of her reckless driving has raked in over 18,000 views on Facebook. Take a look. According to New Straits Times Online, this dangerous incident occurred around midnight. The Produa Alza can be seen going at a speed of at least 80 kilometers per hour, with comparison to the motorcycle's speed. Police are now on the hunt for the driver who has been recklessly endangering others' lives. Many netizens are questioning the driver's action, even wondering if she has any disabilities or was under the influence of alcohol. Officers have been urging the public to come forward with any information that can help with the investigation. Now updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. When we return, release dates, trailers and more from the biggest video game conference. Stay with us. Media Prima Berhad's net loss narrowed by 78% to 8.8 million ringgit in the second quarter, ended June 30th, 2019. This is compared to the media conglomerate's net loss of 40.4 million ringgit recorded in the preceding quarter. For the half year, the company dipped into a net loss of 49.2 million ringgit, reversing the net profit of 10.1 million ringgit a year ago. This was on the back of a lower revenue of 535.9 million ringgit compared to 623 million ringgit in the same comparative period. Its group chairman, Datuk Syed Hussein Al-Junid, said the results reflected the challenges affecting media companies worldwide. On a brighter note, Media Prima's online news outlets remain among the top sites in Malaysia, with a combined monthly average users of 21 million. Its television networks also maintained its dominant broadcast position in Malaysia, with a 36.1% total audience share. Petroleum Nasional Berhad Petronas has been crowned the most attractive employer in Malaysia for 2019. This is the second time the national oil company clinched the award by Global Human Resources Solutions agency Randstad. The award was in recognition of Petronas' outstanding efforts in establishing a strong employer brand amid the increasingly dynamic and competitive marketplace. Petronas said it continued to place importance on diversity and inclusion efforts to foster a conducive workplace environment for our employees. Its recent efforts include the implementation of flexible work arrangements, workplace redesign, enhanced benefits and use of digital technologies. Other homegrown brands that were ranked in the top 10 most attractive employers are AirAsia Berhad and Sime Darby Berhad. Bursa Malaysia ended the day on a cautious note, closing 0.5% higher to finish at 1,602.47 points. The local bourse was in a capricious mood today as investors await further market direction amid global economic uncertainty. Other stocks to watch: Apex Healthcare Berhad was negatively impacted by higher startup expenses from its new manufacturing facility, SPP Novo. The depreciation and operating costs have entirely offset the stronger contribution from its associate company, Straits Apex. CB Industrial Product Holding Berhad's earnings in the first half of 2019 was dragged by its palm oil mill engineering and upstream plantation divisions. The company's financial performance will continue to be partly negated by potential losses from its newly acquired biodiesel facilities. And last but not least, MSM Malaysia Holdings Berhad's outlook remained bleak due to shrinking margins of its refined sugars and higher operating costs. The prolonged oversupply of cheaper foreign refined sugar in the domestic market would continue to present a precarious situation for the company. A video of a diver's heroic act in the Andaman Islands in Thailand, showing his efforts to free a fish stuck in a plastic bag, has warmed the hearts of many on social media. We wrap up 7Edition this evening with the footage, which also serves as a reminder to be mindful that even a single plastic bag can affect thousands of sea creatures. I'm Ras Adibaratsi. Thanks for watching and have a good night. Assalamualaikum.